people is the sole business of government. And I know that at different times on this show, we have criticized the federal government for not doing enough to address the problem of insecurity facing the country. But lately, we have seen some bold moves coming from the federal government to tackle this problem. And these include the establishment of the State Police Services Bill, which is before members of the National Assembly, and the latest being the expansion of Army Division from 8 to 12 and the recruitment of 28,000 personnel to shore up the number of officers protecting the territorial integrity of the country. So this morning, we'll be looking at the implication of this expansion for the security architecture of Nigeria. And we'll be having this conversation with Mr. Bolawole, is a journalist, is right here with us in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
And joining us via Zoom this morning is Dr. Femi Aratokkun, is a global security analyst. It's our pleasure to have you as well.
Good morning, Nigerians, and thank you for having me.
All right. Some piece of good news coming for Nigerians at this critical time, and it's beginning to show that the federal government is not paying lip service to the sinners as a nation. At this critical moment, what do you think will be the implication of this bold step taken by Mr. President to expand the number of divisions of the Army, as well as the recruitment of additional 28,000 personnel into the Nigerian Army? What will be the implication at this moment?
Yeah, thank you very much. The implication will be that the security situation will improve significantly. Otherwise, there will be no need for it. Then the reason for it is to make sure that the security situation improves. That some of the problems that we have encountered in the past, that of response time, quick response that has been lacking. People have only been saying, how can bandits, how can terrorists operate for 2 hours, 3 hours, non-stop, nobody challenges them, and by the time they leave, that is when security people just come. They always come in late. Now, because, and that has been because the response time has been a function of the fact that they come from far away distance, they have to wait for others from far away distance, and a lot of things like that. So now with these new divisions that have been created, it has reduced, or it is expected to reduce response time. It is also expected to reduce the territory you have to cover before you get to the location where things are happening. And when you also look at the way they have been structured, the way where they have been placed, you see that they have been placed very close to the flash points, the areas where the problems have been happening. That's where they have created and they have put the headquarters of all these divisions. And we are also expecting that these divisions will give rise to brigades, and brigades will give rise to battalions. So that will make it possible for even army locations to still get nearer to areas of crisis or problems. It's not only the divisions that once you create divisions, divisions will create brigades, brigades will create battalions, right. And they won't be in the same location. They will spread. So I'm expecting that one of the battalions they will create will be in my hometown, because we have been having problems there. We used to have a battalion there, 133 battalion, when I was growing up during the period of the Civil War. 133 battalion was at war.
Okay.
Yes, but now after the war, they took it away. Now with the problems we are having, because we are very close to the border with Benin, and we've been having a lot of kidnapping and things like that. I expect that once they create all these brigades, we have a brigade in Akure, so I expect that we should also have a battalion in a place like Owo.
Right. Dr. Aratokkun, let's come to you because you are the security expert. Mr. Bolawole has given us his opinion, of course, as a layman in the security architecture, but this is your forte. What are some of the things that you would expect that these 4 new divisions will be bringing to bear, bearing in mind that we do know that one of the roles of the army is actually to protect the, the integrity of Nigeria, and not necessarily, everyday security. But right now we depend on them greatly because of the kind of insecurity that the country has been going through. So in your own opinion, what are your expectations from these 4 new divisions that are to be sited in 4 strategic locations in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you so much, lady and gentlemen in the studio. And I want to say good morning to Nigerians and good morning to Lagosians. This is a very critical topic, and I think we need to be very careful the way we actually handle this very issue this morning and how Nigerians are going to digest it and what is going to be the outcome of this very project. It's a very loud, big project, and I want to say thank you to the presidency for bringing out this idea of expanding the division as well. Having said that, I would like to bring a bit of history into what they should do. Number one, to cut costs, and at the same time, to bring in experts that will definitely support the military and support the government in rebuilding and in modernizing how security should be placed and done in Nigeria. My brother from Owo, I'm also from Owo, to just say
okay.
Yes,
Go ahead.
That's fine. Let me leave it at that. Let me bring you back to the history of 1951. Man O' War was created in Nigeria. Over years, over time, Man O' War seems to have trained more than 15 million Nigerians in different categories. So talking about division and bringing in divisions, Nigerian military doesn't need to go too hard in terms of recruitment.
Okay.
We have active, at least more than 100,000 Man O' War active members in Nigeria today. What is the Nigerian government looking into? 28,000. So we're saying between 12 to 14 or 15% is what they're looking for. So that simply means Nigeria can easily, or the Nigerian military and the presidency can easily just tap into Man O' War with what they have in their database and bring out what they need to support the territorial security in Nigeria.
Okay.
Not only the Man O' Wars, we have the Peace Corps. We can equally bring out 14% from Peace Corps. What is the population of Nigerian military, naval, and air force in Nigeria today? They are no more than 250,000. So 28 is just a tiny fraction that we are actually looking for.
Okay.
That simply means we have so much human capacity that we can actually bring on board to support and deal with the indecisive insecurity we have in Nigeria today.
Okay.
But why are we not thinking about it is my question today.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Femi, with this bold move coming from Mr. President, what kind of signals are we sending to those who are terrorizing Nigeria and Nigerians? That's on one side. On the second side, what complementary role would this play eventually when the establishment of the State Police Services Bill is passed into law?
Well, like I rightly said before, it's a very big, bold move. And remember last year, the presidency brought about one bold move. And what was the move? That police should be withdrawn from VIPs. But the question is, do they have any pilot scheme into who will cover up that bold move they made? None. It's only the private security companies, which they really have the capacity, but the training and the welfare were not put in place. Or how they're going to train them, or the kind of budget and cost or whatever they're going to use to support them, that wasn't there. So we have a shortfall. Are we going to have the same shortfall, or are we going to politicize how things are going to be done with the police as well this time around in terms of state police budgeting? Talking about the state policing as well, like I rightly said, we have more than 100,000 from each of the two groups I mentioned, Peace Corps and
Man O' War.
We can actually bring both of them together and fill up any, and I mean any, type of security architecture we want in Nigeria today.
Okay.
Do not forget, we still have other in criminology society, criminology schools everywhere in Nigeria that can actually fit in and work as admin experts, cyber security, and a whole lot more. If we really want to tackle security and insecurity in Nigeria, we can do it. But the question is this, it's not the collective effort of only the presidency or the government or the state government, but the collaboration of everybody in Nigeria and those outside the country as well. That is what we need to start looking into.
Sorry, Abimola. Maybe Mr. Bolawole should take that question of the signal that we are sending to those who are terrorizing the country with this development.
Yeah, they should know now that the Nigerian government is going to tackle them head on. You see, the president has said it that we are going to win this war, and he is showing his determination to see that the war is won. So the terrorists, the bandits, they should now know that they are not going to have, it's not going to be a field day like they have always been having. They are not going to have the upper hand. The government is ready to put resources together. The government is ready to put more boots on ground. The government is ready to do whatever it takes to secure the country. The government is going to tackle them. They are not going to just run a riot all over the place like they have been doing now. By the time we have these new divisions, we have new brigades, we have new battalions, we have more boots on ground. Although I don't think that 28,000 is enough. I think it's but a starting point, yes. And because also by the time we are talking about recruiting more soldiers, we must be talking about their welfare, we must be talking about their training, their accommodation, their kitting, and then their salaries. And then you must also be talking about those who are there already, the welfare of those who are there, because we've always had complaints about welfare and things like that, accommodation and things like that. So you have to take all those together. And this recruitment and these new divisions, they are coming in the middle of the year, which gives an idea that maybe budgetary provisions were not made for it. So we are in the middle of a budget year, and then we are doing this. Where is the money going to come from? So maybe this, in some other climes, this will be something that will be projected, will be planned for, maybe
in the new budget cycle.
But because of the urgency of the matter, so the president is taking it in the middle of the budget session, budget year, and he is going to now start looking for money, but how to fund it. So maybe that is why he's starting with this 28,000. Maybe after some time we are going to increase. And like my colleague had said, we have a grand swell of bodies, that we can without even going to agencies like without going to OPC or Irueku or
at least those who already have military
or his training. Those who have something like that, and that the government doesn't have any problem about. We can always recruit from them. The problem in Nigeria today is unemployment. So many of our people are willing to join the forces. Don't forget that even we have Nigerians who went to fight, who we were told went to fight in the Ukraine war. We have Nigerians who went to fight in Iran and things like that. So such kind of people should not be left out. They will be receptive to joining their own country's army and helping to fight the problem. I think that it's a good signal that the government is sending to whoever is involved, all those people who are involved in insurgency and terrorism, that the government is not going to sit down and allow them overrun the country. Yes.
Dr. Aratokkun, judging from what Mr. Bolawole said now and looking at the timeline, which of course he mentioned that this is the middle of a budget cycle year, and Mr. President already also gave a timeline as to when this is expected to happen. At least 3 of the divisions are expected to kick off by end of September, and then the rest by the end of December. Based on what he raised, salaries, welfare, accommodation, and a couple of other issues, do you see this as a good starting point, even if we do not get all of the things needed to start the 3 divisions, as mentioned by Mr. President? Is September, at least for the first 3, really workable?
September is just, let me say, 2 months down the line.
He's not even up to 2 months if you look at it literally.
Now, let's just look at it this way. 2 months from now, I can boldly say one thing. That is, if Nigerians and if the government and the presidency will agree with me, yes, a button today, this morning, can make a lot of things happen if they trigger it. How would they trigger it? Just send a message to CLTC, which is Citizenship, Leadership and Training Center in Abuja and across board, that we need X amount of manpower. The same thing, Peace Corps headquarters in Abuja, they have a database already. They have phone numbers, they have emails. Just one single email will do the job today.
Okay.
That simply means we can equally have reservists that will definitely do the job. That has really cut down completely the idea of recruitment or announcement or this or that. We want to save the government from spending so much. So we need to be inclusive as well. Then talking about the training has not just got to be combatant training, but security customer service training program. Because we want to build trust with the security architecture, and then the government must build trust with the community as well. Training is not just all about weapons and stuff, but about how to actually reorientate the community and how we can actually build trust between each other to combat the crime we are seeing or the criminal activities we are seeing in Nigeria today. Yes, a lot can be done, budget can be cut, but the question is this: do they have the zeal and the willpower to do this? Is what I'm asking.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going to still stay with you. When you say the political will, so this announcement by Mr. President, isn't that enough political will to have started with in the first place?
Yes, I would say is enough, but again, who are those that they want to recruit that will be coming forth to kind of foot and fill this gap we're talking about? This is the political will I'm talking about. When we talk about political will, what I'm trying to say is this: do we have people that are ready, like, you know what, I'm coming out to support my country? In supporting that, that simply means the welfare and the openness to the welfare must be inclusive as well. What is the welfare? The life insurance and different kind of insurance, and a lot of benefits must come with all this. This is one of the key things that will definitely save unemployment and will make people like, you know what, I want to support and defend my country and defend my community. These are part of the political will I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right. Although I do agree that the rate of unemployment is quite high in the country. So how careful should we be at these moments of recruitment of 28,000 personnel so that we will not have those of shady characters in the Nigerian army that might later serve as our enemy at the end of the day? So should it be job for the boys by the politicians, or we should actually recruit those who will give their life to defend the country?
That is very, very important. That question is very, very important. And that is where implementation comes in. How do you implement this policy? Good policy, like my colleague had said, but implementation, which is what he is referring to as political will. The president has demonstrated political will to put this policy on ground. But those who will implement it, will they have the same idea? Will they have the same vision? Will they have the same goal and objectives as the president? You find a situation where you put people in place of projects and they have opinions, objectives different from yours. They go there and they serve selfish interest. Now, we have been told that we can recruit from man of war, from this, from that. But what we know at the moment is that before any job is advertised, they have already shared it among themselves. You are a senator, or you are House of Rep, or you are traditional ruler, or you are this, you are that. They share everything. So is it going to follow, this one, is it going to follow the same pattern where they say, Senate President bring this number of people, Speaker bring number of this, Senator bring number of this, Governor bring number? Is that what they are going to do? That is one problem, one question we must ask. Secondly, how are we going to prevent infiltration? Because now you want to recruit people into the army. How are you sure that the terrorists will not come? How are you sure that the bandits will not come? How do you sift them? How do you make sure that it's only the people that actually have the patriotic zeal, that actually want to fight for the country, that will get into there? How are you sure that you don't get the enemies that you are trying to fight inside? And when they come inside, which is the problem the military is having at the moment, infiltration from outside, inside. We have seen a situation where a former minister said they infiltrated the administration and things like that. And we have seen cases of infiltration that has led to us losing top military officers, ambushment of officers. How is it happening? We have seen cases of servicemen selling arms, selling uniforms to the terrorists, to bandits. So if such people should get into the army in this recruitment, it creates another problem. I read recently that they are looking for a soldier that was selling uniforms.
Right. It's been apprehended.
Yes. Okay, yes. So how do we prevent such elements from getting into the army officially through open doors that we open for them? It's very, very key. So this recruitment should not be done by politicians. Like my colleague has said, it should be done by professionals, people who actually know what they are looking out for.
Right. And
it should not just be about training people about how to shoot gun or things like that. There are a lot of things involved in security other than ability to shoot guns. And I think we should take all these things together and look at the problem holistically. So if we are able to do that, we may be getting closer to solving this problem.
Right. Dr. Aratokkun, one of the reasons that the presidency also gave for citing these divisions in the areas they currently are is to also ensure that there is adequate or improved surveillance as well as sustained military operations in forest and remote communities in those areas. So when you look at those areas which we've mentioned that these divisions will be cited, and you also saying that you think that the federal government can pull from the large number of Peace Corps members, manual members that we have, would you say that indeed this suggestion, if followed by the federal government, is one that will also help curtail the activities of insurgents in those areas that have been identified?
Thank you for this very great question. And the simple answer to that is this. Yes, a lot can be achieved when it comes to the expansion of the military structure and the command that they're actually planning. But to help my colleague better so that viewers and listeners can understand where we're all going with all this, not to have a single doubt about how do we recruit people. One single action can change a lot of things. That is security background check. If we have our agencies that can actually put up bands and say, you know what, we will equally support the government in doing security background check from the start, then we'll know exactly the people we're actually putting in place to support, to work within our community, to work with us, and to make sure that security is a thing of the past in Nigeria. That's number one. Okay. Secondly, when I mention man of war and Peace Corps, you need to go to their training centers and see the rigorous training they do have. They train them like they are training the military as well. Remember, they are paramilitary officers as well.
Right.
So the training of making them work in all this hostile terrain is not longer a big deal. What is a big deal right now is the materials, the kits, and the survival instinct that they need to have. Okay. That is all the kind of things that they need to be given to them. So you know what, they are well kitted, they are battle ready to face whatever we see. All this can actually be done. Okay. Don't forget, I'm a security personnel over here in the United Kingdom, and I do come to Nigeria to train with them as well. So I understand what they want, I understand what they need, and the government as well should please do the needful and let us be open to transparency to make sure that security is completely tackled from the grassroots. The security we're having today is not within the capital, but within the grassroots. So how do we do it? We need people that can actually work within the grassroots.
Sorry, Dr. Aratokkun, still staying with them. I know that there are a lot of retired personnel in Nigeria that retired maybe because of years of service or age reasons. How do we still tap into their wealth of experience without necessarily employing them? Because we know that maybe years of service might have caught up with them and a couple of other things, but they still do have so much to give in terms of experience, in terms of training, in terms of what exactly they still have, to offer. So how do we ensure that we still tap in enough from personalities like that?
Thank you so much. I think I need to say this boldly. Last year, I had an event which we're actually trying to appreciate security officers within all levels of angles you might probably say. There's what you call retired but not tired. Most of the retired officers are actually not tired, but the question is this. Have you seen anywhere whereby we see presidency letters given to retired officers appreciating their service to the country before? Let us start from somewhere. And from there, we know where we're going to. Once we have reservists, that simply means at any point in time, they can be called for duties. Do we have those kind of ideas? Do we have those programs in place? We need to have all this in place. Okay. If you call them today, I can bet you they will come on board and say, you know what, we want to correct what we're meant to do in the past that we were not able to do. Let us use this opportunity to correct it. So yes, we can call them back. We can recall them, not actively into the duty, but to support ideas as in what needs to be done within each community they might probably be. It is not necessarily by deploying them to active areas, but within their territory, within their community, they can serve a battalion in a much more better way, rather than just leaving them doing nothing.
All right, we'll probably have to let Dr. You want to say something before he leaves?
Yes,
okay, go ahead.
I think that is where the political will he was talking about
also comes in.
Also comes in. Because with state police, we have seen with Aratokkun and others, that we have seen that the state governors make use of all these retired
security officers,
whether military, whether Air Force, whether police. But we have also seen those people coming out to tell us that their advice is not taken. That they give advice, professional advice, is ignored. And we have seen some of them even withdrawing and saying that they are not interested. So why are our people, our leaders, not interested in harnessing their experience?
Okay.
Why are they afraid of them? Or is it that they are making too much demands or whatever like that? So the resources are there. Why are we not willing to tap into the resources? That is where the political will on the part of our leaders come in.
Okay.
So they have a problem. I don't know what the problem is. When we have these people, they are there. They are, like we said, they are retired, but they are not tired. And they are willing. Despite the fact that we have not appreciated them enough. For the services in the past, they are still willing. Right. So why are we not now ready to tap into these resources? But I think that necessity, as they said, is the father of invention. Now that we have come to this situation now, I think that we will more and more appreciate them. We will more and more bend over backward to harness those resources. Yes, I think necessity will compel us to do the needful. Yes.
Dr. Aratokkun, we need to let you go, but before you go, let's also quickly weigh in on the role of the people, the community members, where these divisions will be cited once they are ready. What kind of participation, or what are the expectations from citizens, community members, residents of the areas that these divisions will be cited?
Thank you, because I think I've read a bit about where all these divisions will be decided, which is Jalingo, Benin, and some other few places as well. Yes, I mean, it's quite interesting because those areas will be like, at least we can sleep with our two eyes closed without looking sideways before things are done. And that simply means the response time of all this security team will be much more, and will be much more faster.
Okay.
But having said that, we cannot just be battle ready with our foot soldiers only. We have to be battle ready in terms of security ideas of modernization, whereby we need to have some people to be trained in the use of area drones, not because we want to sightseeing things, but where exactly are the hotspots? Before foot soldiers are there, the area drones are there to actually deter and to capture moments of action and stuff like that. Okay. Those are the kind of things I think will definitely be needed. But in the meantime, the 4 places they want to put it is so far so good, one of the key places, and they must need to open more to where other places, because I didn't see them mention Kwara, I didn't see them mention Kogi, and those are hotspot areas as well.
But Ilorin is part. Ilorin is part of it. Ilorin is part of it.
Ilorin is Kwara. Okay.
Yeah.
So why are we not seeing all these areas are key hotspot areas that we should have all these divisions as well? If we even have security and divisions over there at the moment, why are they not active? Are they going to be active right now? So we need to look at holistically the change in the narrative and seeing it as a benefit for everyone of us.
Okay. All right, we'd have to let Dr. Aratokkun, and then we can continue with Mr. Bolawole in the studio. Thank you so much, Dr. Femi Aratokkun, Global Security Analyst, for joining us via Zoom from the UK this morning. We appreciate your expertise and your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Nigerians, as well.
Right.
All right, Mr. Bolawole.
Let me talk on the citing of the divisions. I would have preferred that they were not cited in the state capitals.
Okay.
State capitals are already developed. You find out that there are some institutions of government that help the development of where they are cited, like universities. So they form an oasis of development. So a lot of development activities begin to take place. Like these divisions, they should have been cited not in Benin, maybe one of an area outside of Benin.
But can the battalions then be in the interland if the divisions are in the capital?
Yes, maybe they put the divisions in the capitals, maybe because there's a lot of infrastructural development there already, so it will be easier for them to
for cheaper. Coordination.
Yeah, and government would even spend less.
Yes, government, but we need these formations,
and the formations
in the other. We need them in the other.
Okay.
Yes, and then in a place like Ibadan, in the place at Oyo State, I don't think that one division is enough to serve Oyo State.
Because of the size.
Because of the size. Oyo is almost as big as the whole of the southeastern states. All the 5 or so southeastern states put together, just a little bigger than Oyo State. So, and Ibadan is far away from, can you imagine Ibadan, this distance to Igangan, or to Saki, or to Okero, or Ilero, and things, places like that. So I think that axis like Shaki, Igangan, where we have had this problem of...
And they are very close to the border.
Very close to the border. So we should be looking at places close to the border. We should be looking at places where we have had all these problems of infiltration and things like that. How did we get to know about Sunday Igboho? It's because of the problems in Igangan, where he comes from, Igboho area and things like that. I think an area like that. Now, if we don't have a division, they should have a brigade or a battalion in those areas. So they should be strategically located in such a situation that areas that are least developed should be given some of these battalions and divisions and brigades, so that some level of development can also come up there.
Okay, a very quick one before we let you go this morning. What will these divisions and this step taken by the federal government do to the psychology of those people where those divisions will be located?
Oh, they will be happy, because I can tell you that when the 133 Battalion of the Nigerian Army was in my hometown, the economy of that town was boosted, because the people that the soldiers will bring there, they will rent houses, the accommodation, and then they will buy things from the market, and a lot of other activities. They will have children that will go to school and things like that. So the economic activity will be boosted. So in any area where they now find that you are going to have these divisions, they will be happy. Another thing is that they will feel more secure now. Right. Okay, we have soldiers next door. This idea that something happened and we are calling Kaduna, we are calling Abuja, it's no longer there. Then you can just call, you can just walk across to the Army Division, you can see the GOC. The problem before had been that you call a brigade commander and says, I have to get the signal. And you, even when the signal, even the people they call want to send signal, network problems. So all those issues now should be drastically reduced in such a way that everyone that you have these divisions close to you, you feel more secured. Why is it that when we find policemen on the road, we feel more secured than when there are no policemen on the road? The psychological impact of it, that, oh, we have an army division now, is also there. So I think that it's a good move. It's a right move in the right direction. Okay. But the implementation is what we should be concerned about now.
As we wrap up this conversation this morning, let's also look at how important will it be for government to also review the successes of these divisions once they come on board.
It is not just the new one they want to create, the old ones, the ones that were there, how successful were they in executing their mandate. Because if they had actually performed very well, there will have been no need for these additional divisions. So it may be that their constraints were operational. It may not be because they were of laxity on their part. It may be because of some of the problems that we're trying to solve now. Problem of distance, problem of logistics, problem of
it could also be expansion.
It can also be, or it could also be that the problems that we face now overwhelms them. That these were problems we never anticipated when we were setting up those divisions. The initial structure. But now when we have now seen the present circumstances that confront us, there is the need to review what we have on ground, and then we have this. So we should, when you create divisions, you should give them tax. There should be tax given to them. So it is not just a matter that we have created divisions for you. Now people will be promoted. There will be more GOCs. There will be more brigade commanders. There will be more. It will be tied with performance. Yes, when you create duties, you also put performance
To rate, okay.
so that you know how you can assess them, whether they have performed well or not. If you don't put performance side by side,
then there's going to be a problem.
All right,
we need to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Bolawole, journalist and public affairs analyst, for giving us your time and your expertise on the program this morning. We thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
That's the much your take on this side of the table this morning. We'll take a quick break. The conversation continues shortly.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those